Could you briefly tell us about your role?
Hi, so my name is Dalitso Phiri, the managing consultant, CEO for Growth Innovate Ventures Limited, one of the fastest growing business development consulting firms that we have in the country. We've been around for close to a decade, having worked with at least 350 organizations as well as individuals. Yeah, so that's what we do. We help SMEs grow in terms of digital media. We help SMEs grow in terms of innovation, being abreast with latest developments, latest trends, latest best practices, so to speak, but also helping SMEs be able to brand themselves and reposition themselves to be competitive on the marketplace. But also one important thing that we get to do is around planning. That is business planning, strategic planning, concept development, project planning, and anything to do with planning for SMEs to be able to understand clearly what their roadmap is for the future. Yeah.
What prompted you or your organization to specifically look for a human-centered design solution, and why did you choose our program over other training options?
Great. Yeah, thank you for that question. Prior to coming on board on the HCD program, I think when I saw the advert on your wall, it appeared on my timeline. And so I got very interested in it in terms of being able to understand exactly how we could provide solutions that were focused on the client. In this case, focused on the actual user of a particular product or service. And for us, because we're into service provision, we're trying to help our clients be able to optimize their operations, increase their revenue, increase their clientele base. We wanted to provide a more specific approach to their solution. We wanted to provide a solution, that was actually very specific to what their challenge or problem was. And so for us, previously, prior to joining on this program, we would actually get to do it, but I think it wasn't really more customer centric. Why? I think I did not really get to fully understand the exact procedure on how to actually get to do this. But then I think when I enrolled into this program, I got that flashy idea on how clients could actually be better served in the process.
What was the most surprising or impactful tool, framework, or methodology you learned during the program? Could you give us a quick example of how you used it?
That's a very interesting question. Lots of learning points throughout the program. I'll tell you, for me, my biggest, probably if I would maybe pinpoint 2 or 3, I understood exactly how to ideate. Before coming up with a solution, the process of ideation is very, very critical. And when you're ideating, there is no idea that is a wrong idea, because you're in that process of creating as many ideas as you possibly can that will be usable for the marketplace. So that process for me was very important because I could come up with so many ideas at a given time, So I think for me, that one was a game changer. The second one was prototyping, where now you're getting to understand which kind of idea you could actually adopt amongst a group of ideas. So again, that was another interesting process. But again, if you're choosing an idea, you need to be able to understand and justify why that idea, So that was another interesting journey for me in that process. But also lastly, testing of the ideas prior to implementation, So you test the ideas, how effective could those particular ideas be for the market? Again, for me, that was a game changer around this program.
For a fellow entrepreneur, how has adopting HCD changed the way you approach product validation and securing early user commitment?
Okay, great. So validation is important. When we validate an idea, obviously you have to test it on the market first, right? There's that process of testing that is involved. So you obviously come up with an idea, you prototype, you undergo the user journey mapping and all that. Then you get to a level where you have to test the idea before you can actually validate an idea. So for me, in my business and in my interactions with so many people that I get to engage with on a day-to-day basis, I frequently engage with them to find out exactly how certain solutions would be best usable for them. And just about recently, before I came here, I was actually visiting an organization where I was actually called upon, So I think it hasn't been performing very well. One of the first questions I asked them was what the problem really was, and if at all they could have a solution for it, what could be the solution? So already the HCD principles began to kick into my mind when I just got there, asking them exactly, so what is the problem? But what could be the potential solutions that you could recommend that could solve that particular problem, right? Because it starts from there. They are the users, right? They are the users. So what could be the solutions that they could have that could be usable? Then obviously at that point you begin to now test them on the market and you see which one could actually be the most usable solution that you could effectively validate in the process. Yeah.
If you had to choose one word to describe the difference in your team or organization's output before and after the program, what would it be and why?
For me, it's mindset. That's the biggest thing, right? Because it's just about now that I graduated, really. It's been a month, isn't it? To be precise, on the 9th. Today is the 12th. It's literally been a month. I think it's a mindset for me. It's a mindset for my team. So it's a process of refinery to make sure that we fully get to understand what HCD really is. Because obviously when you get to learn, you have to begin to practice that, right? But then for you to practice that, you need to be in the right frame of mind. You need to have the correct mindset for that particular thing. So the biggest difference that has been there before is that I may not have had that mindset of creating solutions that are user-centric. But now after the program, I know each and every time prior to engaging into any activity that focuses on the user, I should focus on what the user really needs. And obviously that process, that HCD process comes in and all that. So for me, that's been a game changer. Yeah.
In today's fast-moving market, why would you say this HCD approach is no longer a nice-to-have, but a necessary investment for businesses of all sizes?
Well, it helps you be able to craft solutions that will be usable for the market. And because we're living in a world that is very dynamic today, with huge technological advancements each and every day, not every month, not every 6 months, but every day there's always a change. Recently, when I was going into my WhatsApp, just a couple of days ago, when you upload a photo on your status, you can now inbox those ones that have seen your message, right? Did you see that? Well, if you go to your WhatsApp, you upload your status, whoever gets to see your status, you can actually message them directly from the status. But again, if you look at that, that's innovation, because then they're responding to your needs. They noticed over time, WhatsApp, that this is what the user actually needs. They want somebody who actually gets to view their status, to immediately engage with them and not go back and now text them, that's a longer process. So for today, when you look at HCD, it's such a relevant tool because of how fast moving the world is. And so the adaptation process becomes very, very vital, because the preferences of users are constantly changing. That's the reason why you have new phones. Last year we had the iPhone 16. Today we have the iPhone 17 with new features. Next year we have the iPhone 18, right? Go to flat screen TVs. There are others. Very soon you have the flat screen TV. You have a remote control that is touch. Why? Because they want to respond. So if such big companies are able to understand what users really, really require, what about you and me? So for me, I think that's where I find the relevance in today's market of how HCD is really impacting lives. Yeah.
To someone currently considering the Applied Human-Centered Design, the Practitioners Program, what is your final, most compelling piece of advice?
Just get on to the program, because we have problems every day. We need to solve problems. We live in an environment that has problems. People want solutions. Everybody wants better things. People want better environments. People want better services. So we must be up to speed. So for you to be up to speed with whatever is coming up, you need to be on the cutting edge of developments that are latest. And so for anybody who's trying or who is considering coming on board and thinking twice, should I not, is it relevant for me? I think it's relevant for any field. So you could have studied anything that you have. You need to add on the HCD program because it will be relevant for a particular study, for a particular sector, department, or workplace, or your business. So you need to jump on the bandwagon.